Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is going to be a different kind of video. I'm really excited to make this. This is going to be a beat breakdown slash production behind the scenes of my song, Landing on an Unfamiliar Planet. I want to make one of these for all of my songs, but this is the one I'm going to start with because it's a pretty simple song. And it's the one that I'm currently promoting, and it's the one that I just released a music video for. So make sure you click on my YouTube channel and watch the music video for Landing on an Unfamiliar Planet that was directed, edited, and filmed all by me, Jaxie. Okay, so this song, I wrote it in the winter, and it's basically a concept album that I had come up with for a video. I really wanted to get into making video game music. I just wanted to try it. It seemed fun. So the concept is that it's like its own video game that I created in my head, and it has all these different worlds, and it has all these different levels, and basically the story goes is that you start off in a big cutscene on a foreign, like on a planet, a space planet, and what basically happens is that the home planet is getting invaded by aliens, and so the main character that you play as is a pink bunny who's like a boy, and aliens are invading. There's lasers, there's explosions, there's spaceships, it's crazy. There's chaos. Everybody's running around trying to, flee to safety. In the middle of the chaos, the main character that you play as gets separated from his girlfriend. So the girlfriend ends up getting in her own spaceship, and she flees the planet by herself. He gets in his own ship later and flees separately. He then crash lands onto a foreign planet. And this is the song that plays as you explore the new planet. So, this is kind of a more simple song. There's not as many drums in it either. I grew up playing drums, and that's like my forte, but this year I started learning piano and guitar, so I really wanted to challenge myself to use kind of minimal drums so that I could focus more on melodies and notes and how notes interact with each other and harmonies and chords and blah, 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 blah. So let's get into the fun part, shall we? The song basically has a main lead that kind of goes throughout it, and that would be these sine waves right here, these little bells. So if we take a listen. And as the song goes on, they kind of start to build up. And basically the sound, I did a lot, actually, surprisingly enough, I did a lot of the sound design on this album, or on these, like, video game songs. I did a lot of the sound design myself, which I'm very impressed with because I don't really do that. So, this space sine wave is pretty simple. It's just a sine wave with a lot of chorus in it, and what I did is I basically just took the decay and the sustain and turned it like so far up so that it kind of has its own built-in reverb. And so they're all so close, like the MIDI notes are so close together that you don't really hear the end of that tail, you just hear it blend into itself, you know? And then what I did here too, actually bring this back up, for the atmosphere, that I call it atmosphere, it's like the background noise that kind of puts you in the space mood. This kind of feels like a void. It feels like, you know what I mean? Like you're looking out at the earth and all the planets and the stars, and you just feel the emptiness and the void and the expansiveness in you. The way I made this is I kind of just like freestyled this when I was making it, but I played a chord on, it's not going to be the right one, but I played a chord on the sine bells. And then what I did is I like bounced it and I cut that tail end off. And then what I did is I cut that tail end off, chopped it in half, and then the second half I flipped it and reversed it so it kind of blends in and out of itself like this. So if you listen, if I zoom in too, you'll see. It goes down and back up. It's subtle. But I kind of wanted to kind of like pull you around a little bit. You know what I mean? So then we get into, oh, and then over here, the second half, there's like accent sine waves, and they're just like higher up. Like it's just, let me play it with the other sine waves real quick. Actually, if I do this, you can see them both. So this is just the sine waves. So down here is the lead, and then up here is more of the accent. And then it slows down. Slows back down. So yeah, that's the sine waves, and then this is all the kind of, that's like the meat and potatoes, and then all this is like the fun part. So let's get into the fun part. The first one is the shooting stars, and if I'm correct, I believe I made this myself too. The sound, I think I did the sound design myself on this one. If it wants to load. Okay, yep, I'm pretty sure I did this one myself, and really, it's pretty simple other than, like I said, I did like the decay to sustain thing again. I was really into building my own reverb because I feel like I always mess up reverb plugins, so I was just trying to make it myself, and what I did too is I built the attack a little, I pointed to my computer screen like you can see. I did the attack a little up so that when you play, it has to like blend up real quick so that it's not such a harsh like hit. It like blends up really quickly and you don't notice how hard it comes in. And then it just has this LFO right here is tracked to the formant shifting so that it kind of pulls out while you play it. And those are my shooting stars. And I like to think of it like when you're playing the game, I like to think in the background you would see like little colorful shooting stars in like the backdrop. So this is the shooting stars. So there's that. And then that kind of goes on for a while with the stars and then like the melody builds itself up. And then I think it loops back down. So I think this 4 chunks gets repeated like right here and then it gets repeated again right here. And that's how I build up the rest of the song while you have the familiar loop playing in your ear. You know, like you already know this melody, so then this can all change. So then we have, this is the only drums I have in here. And I made these ones too, I believe, question mark. I think they're just like a saw wave with like a little weird, oh, it's white noise, yep. With, again, this really long sustain and decay because I was really into that at the time. And then it also just has 7 voices, and the phase is turned all, I don't know what that means, but it's turned all the way down. Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of acts like a drum. They kind of help, and I think they're synced up to the bells, if I'm not mistaken. Wait, let's make that smaller again. Okay. Which it sounds kind of harsh when you solo it out, but when it's tucked with everything else, it kind of just like it feels echoey. It just like it's very chill. But if you play it with the bells, it's pretty much syncs up. I just kind of wanted to give, like, for the second loop of that melody, I wanted it to have a little bit of movement. You know what I mean? So it comes in with the drums that, like, anchors down this melody and gives it its movement, but then it also comes in with this, it's called, I need to change this because it's Space Wind. That's what it is to me. Actually, this is the alien singing, isn't it? I think this is the low-key the alien singing, but I don't care. When I was making this, I'm like yelling, I think, because I have my headphones in and it's hard to hear with my headphones on. So if I'm yelling, I'm sorry. This is my first time making a video like this, but I was listening when I made this. I was listening to a lot of Stardew Valley and Undertale at the time. I was also listening to a lot of like Terraria and Minecraft soundtrack. And a lot of the Stardew Valley soundtrack had like these cool counter melodies that were a little bit like fluty. They were a little bit like sing-songy, but they weren't. They were still synths, but they were like they had a little humanist to it. So I like to think of this one as like, I don't know why it says Spaceman, because it's the singing alien. Because, just listen to it. It sounds like an alien singing a little song to you. And that's my little counter melody. So if you put it up with the drums and, well, I guess just solo it. Well, let's not solo it. Let's just play the whole thing. With everything else, it's a nice counter melody. So then we get into this, and then it goes back high up. Okay, and then we have these two. These are our last two things. Weird modulated thing, I think might low-key be the only thing that I didn't actually make myself, question mark. This might be a stock plugin, question mark. No, I actually do think I made this one myself. This looks like I made it myself too. Yeah, I definitely made this myself because I like to track these LFOs to the format shift a lot. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I made that. I was like really I made this whole song I think in one night. In like maybe the span of like a couple hours. I think it was like, I'm pretty sure when I wrote this I was up in my room till like 2 a.m. in the complete dark. I like to make music in my room with all the lights off, no TV, just everything dark. It's just me and my computer screen. I feel like it like helps me zone in. I don't know. So let's listen to this. I think this is just a little sub bass. Like, well, not sub bass, but like this is the two bass elements. Because then right here, this bass is like I wouldn't even call it bass. It's a very like it's a very 8-bit sounding sound. You know. Like, who hasn't heard this? bum, bum, bum. So yeah, and then you play these two together, and they sound very... And what I did a lot too is I feel like the main melody is just like da 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 bum bum bum. And then what I like to do is add these little pickup notes in between to help move it along. And you can see it a lot too in the bells. Is they have these like little accent pickup notes that kind of help groove it along a little bit more. So yeah, and then it basically it just follows this trend of like the main melody loop, and then it kind of builds up and then it fades out, and then right here I did this little thing because my thought process is if this is going to be in an actual video game, like it's going to be playing on a level. The song's only like a couple minutes long. You're going to spend way more time exploring a level than like a few minutes. So I wanted to make sure that with these songs that if you're sitting playing a level over and over again, that it's going to loop really smoothly and you're not going to hear the end and then the start. You know what I mean? Because then it's going to pull you out of the gameplay every 2 minutes and you're going to get annoying, you're going to turn the volume off. So what I did is I just copy pasted it and I put it again so that I could just focus on this ending / transition. And I think I kind of nailed it. Can't lie. And it starts over. Normally it just fades out here and ends. But yeah, that is the full beat breakdown of my song Landing on an Unfamiliar Planet. You can stream it on all streaming platforms as well as the music videos on YouTube, so make sure you go check out the YouTube video after watching this video. Now that you know all the fun behind the scenes lore, the music video will probably be a lot more cool to watch. So go check out the music video. It's very fun. It took me a few days to edit. I'm really proud of it. I think it looks really cute. It's very sentimental, very nostalgic kind of video. Lots of clips of me and my friends having fun and all the things we like to do. So thank you for watching this video. I want to make one of these for all of my songs, so let me know which song I should do next, and maybe I'll do your favorite one. Alright, thank you for watching, and goodbye.